Welcome back to Scales of Safety with me, Pete Collins. We're going to take you through today how to really understand regulations and the Act, the sections of the Act being used in industry against employers and prosecuting people. We're going to go and show you how to find it, but ultimately how they are applied in industry. You know, it's all right knowing them, but actually knowing a scenario that's took place and how it's being applied to it can help us through this because, well, it's all about scenario-based assessments, people. So let's go and have a look at what's happening in the real world. From this, I'm going to take you through to the HSE website. Go and look at how we look at the enforcement prosecutions, and we're going to actually see some examples, as I said, where they're being applied. How are the regulations being applied here? So that's the aim and objective of this video. Now, for the benefit of it, I'm going to go straight back in again. So we're going to go HSE website. Here we are. And we're going to go news. And we're going to go down to enforcement prosecutions look. So we can see here the latest prosecutions from the HSE website now. And look, there's a few in here, but for morally, I'm just not going to go and read that. There are some very, very, very serious things happening here. This isn't going to be a pretty video. Well, I've got one here. We'll start off a little bit lighter. Unregistered plumber handed a suspended prison sentence for illegal gas works. So you can see here that, let's have a look at this. Suspended jail sentence for carrying out illegal gas works, breaching health and safety enforcement. So he was given a notice. Looks like it was an enforcement notice. So it could have been a prohibition or it could have been, I would have thought it would be a prohibition based on that. Okay, so, right. So that's the Andrew Parsons who lives in the property with his, okay. Okay. 12 weeks, suspended for 2 years. Let's have a look at what they use. It's got to be around the gas regulations. What are we looking at? Whoa, okay, here we go, look. Pleaded guilty to breaching Section 33 of the Act. Section 3 of the Gas Safety and Installation. I said, didn't I, look? Gas Safety and Installation Use Regulations. Sentenced to 16 months in prison, suspended for 2 years, fined 22.5 grand in order to complete 2 hours of unpaid community. That is a very expensive day at work. 40 grand in compensation. So there was a civil case as well. So what's happened is the guy's gone in as a gas safety engineer, registered personnel, or probably clearly unregistered and unqualified and untrained, and he's gone in and he's conducted work, and there has been the Crown that have come in and said, yo, hello, we feel you've broken some regulations here, sunshine. And what they've done is they've effectively prosecuted under those gas safety and the Act of 33. And then equally on the other side of the woods, the civil claim has come from Mr. and Mrs. Patterson and said, excuse me, sorry, we had harm, distress and loss. We would also like compensating. That's the purpose, and the intention is to compensate for civil. The intention is to compensate for punish. I might do a civil criminal breakdown in the future videos to come. Let's go back and have a look at what else we've got in industry going on. Back to press releases then. So, there was one recently that I saw. There was a case involving, I think it was the end of September. I work with an accreditor around quarries. And here we go. Look, yeah, company fined after. So this was an incident that happened at Mount Sorrel Quarry some time ago now, back in, I believe, 2017, yeah. And the quarry have been fined, the operator of the quarry have been fined 1.275 million after a young lad unfortunately lost his life at Mount Sorrel Quarry. Now, insight to here, this is a picture of Luke and his girlfriend Sarah there. Branston Site Services was part of a night shift. They were a really, really well-known team. The conveyor was, again, so what they've done here is he had been stood on a conveyor that was located under the feed hopper and had not been effectively isolated. It failed to apply a number of different isolation processes from the operator and the contractors themselves. And unfortunately, it started. And that's where, unfortunately, Luke met his fate there. So, just thinking of that then now, team. Luke himself was a contractor at Branston Site Services, the company to the operator of the quarry, which I believe, I'm not sure, I'll quote it in a minute. Again, not indirect employment. He's a contractor. So contractors and visitors and members of public are under Section 3 of the Act. So let's just have a look at what they've said here and what they've gone on to use here. Now there's more videos. This was a huge case, guys, and yeah, it shouldn't have happened. Morally, this just shouldn't have happened. Lots of moral from this as well. 6 years on. Okay. Yeah, more. Some of the statements and things I've seen are terrifying from what actually happened that fateful day. Here we go, look. Pleaded guilty. So here we go, look. Tarmac Ag Industries, Tarmac Aggregates, they breached guilty. So they pled guilty to breaching 2.1 and 3. So there you go. There's the contractor one being used. And 2.1 is the general duty. And that's straight from the Act as well. And the fine, I'm going to do a separate video on how they calculate fines here. But that's ultimately where they've been prosecuted, and that's the overall outcome of that as well. So very, very sad there. But again, I just would like to bring that to your attention to show you, like, you know, knowing your Act is important, but getting to know it and how it's applied, I feel, is different. So I feel like that's something very, very valuable that you will look at, because what are you doing? You're reading scenarios, people, when you're looking online and you're looking at how it's been brought forth in the real world. So again, you know, when NEBOSH put you into an SBA, you're going to go through a scenario and you could already think about this. So if you put yourself in that preparation and mindset before you do your OB by going and doing some research like that, you'll quickly find it's easier to relate legislation to a scenario. All right, there you are. Pete Collins, Scales of Safety. Thank you very much for your time. I don't do it for likes. I don't do it for subs. I do it for you. Best of luck with your studies, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you.